Hello everyone, this is Janie. I hope this video finds you all doing well at home. Just because we're all at home trying to be safe and not get sick, doesn't mean we can't move around and do some exercise. Exercise will help our immune system stay strong. So today I want to go through a series of stretches that we can do. I'm going to give you some variations between seated stretches, standing stretches, on the floor stretches with little to no equipment. And what equipment I'm using, you'll probably have some about these things at home. So let's start with our legs. First of all, we shouldn't be sitting all day long, so make sure that you get up often and move around, and if possible, go out for a walk. So before you go for the walk or after you go for the walk, you can't do stretches either before or after. Let's start with the legs. So the first one I want you to do, your posture is very important, is to bring your leg forward. Let me push the chair back just a bit. Bring your one leg forward when you're seated, heel down, toe up. You're wanting to bring that toe up towards you so that you can get a stretch in the calf. And then with a nice tall posture, lean forward until you get a stretch in the back of the leg. Now this stretch is going to be different for everybody. Some of us can touch our head to our knees, some of us can't move very far. We're just looking for a good stretch in the back of the leg. There are different areas of the back of the leg that we can stretch. If we're straight in this direction, most of it stretches. If we turn our toe out and lean forward, we get more of a stretch on the outer part of the back of the leg, and then also moving it to the inside and coming forward. The key thing here also to remember is to keep your back in neutral position. So nice tall posture. We don't want to drop the head or round the back as we're coming down. We want to sit nice and tall, lean forward, and find that stretch. A stretch should be held for a minimum of at least 15 seconds to get the full benefit. And you can stretch it for up to a minute if you'd like. So make sure that you do both legs, right? Turning the toe in, turning the toe out, finding that stretch, keeping the back straight. You could do this stretch standing, right? Find your balance and then find your stretch. Another option for this stretch would be on the floor. If you have a belt at home, you can definitely use that belt. Loop it around the balls of your foot and then pull, keeping your spine in neutral. This leg could be bent or straight, and then pull until you find that stretch in the back of the leg. Right? A little harder to do the outside and the inside, but it is possible. And then you can just switch legs and do the stretch on the other side. Okay, so that's the back of the upper part of the thigh. We're going to go a little bit lower and stretch the Achilles part of the leg. So sitting on a chair would probably be the easiest one. And we're going to slide the foot back as far as you can without letting the heel come up, right? Putting a little pressure on the top of the thigh to allow the front of the leg to relax. We'll get the lower part right here, right under the calf, to stretch. All right, 15 to 20 seconds. And then the other. All right. So once you do the back, you got to do the front. We can bring this back this way. So we're trying to push our shoelaces down onto the floor until we find that stretch. And the stretch that we're looking for is right here. If for some reason that's not possible because it hurts your toes or anything, we can come to this position and just kind of find that stretch or just massage that area. All right, so standing for those, an Achilles stretch. We're going to bring the foot back and then drop the heel, lifting the drop the knee, lifting the heel just a bit until you find that stretch. Keeping the upper body, you can hold onto a wall or a chair for balance, right? And then standing this way to stretch in the other position. So now we've stretched the back of the leg and all of the lower part of the leg. Another thing that we can do is massage the bottoms of our feet. A good tool is a ball. You can use a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, any kind of round object like this. And then just on bare feet, you're just going to roll the ball to massage the bottoms of your feet. There are different techniques for it, but in general, that will help relax the muscles and all that tightness that might be happening under on the bottoms of your feet. Okay, so moving on to, because we sit a lot, the thighs and the hip area. So one way to stretch the front of the leg in a chair, bringing the leg back here. If the knee's got to be right under the hip. So some of us, this will be a good enough stretch. But if you're in this position and nothing's happening, then I would raise the arm up, and without arching the low back, I would lean back until you get a stretch that goes into the front of the thigh and possibly into the front of the hip, right? We can also do this stretch on a chair or balancing on a chair. Let's do it this way so you can see. Balancing on a chair, keeping your knees together and pulling the foot up. If you prefer that one, but your flexibility is not quite there, we can use a belt or a strap to help bring that leg up, right? So that takes care of the thigh. If we need a little bit deeper, we can also go on the floor and drop that hip down. That'll give you a quad in front of the thigh and into the hip stretch. Right, adding some back into that. We can reach up, turn the trunk. And then, of course, we have to be balanced, so we can do the other way. Okay, the next stretch that we're going to do is the glute stretch or deep six muscles with the piriformis in there. So I want you to try to cross one leg over like this, and if you can't bring it all the way up here, bringing it down in this position, putting a chair in front of you and setting the leg up there will also work. Depends on your flexibility. What I don't want is for the knee to be hurting or a pull in the joint in the hip. All right, so crossing the leg over, sitting nice and tall, and sometimes this is where you'll feel the stretch. And the stretch that we're looking for is in the glute area, right in the middle of the side where the knee is bent. And then if you don't feel any stretch during that, or if you're feeling the pull on another part of the leg or in the joint, adjust the knee until it goes away, and then lean forward until you find that stretch in the middle of the side that you're stretching. Leaning forward, right? Try not to bring your head down or round or curve. You want to keep that spine in neutral. And then we're going to do the other side. All right, my favorite way to do this one is on the floor. So this helps to keep your spine in neutral. So laying flat on the floor. If your head is in a position where your head is tipped back, or you can't quite be in this neutral position with your chin at a level position, then I suggest that you put a pillow or a cushion or something under your head just to lift you up a little bit. We don't want to be up here. We just want to find us getting into this position. All right, and then we're going to cross the ankle over the knee. And from here, keeping everything else in neutral, you're going to bring that leg towards you. If the stretch is in the joint, then adjust the knee and come up. If it's too difficult to pull your leg to you, You can also use a strap and loop it through your leg and pull, all right? So then we have to do the other side. Okay. So from here, we're gonna straighten out one leg and keep one bent. This arm's gonna come out here, and we're going to lift the knee and bring it over for a nice low back stretch. All right, remember to hold each stretch about 15 seconds. You can hold them for up to a minute, and then we're going to switch sides and look in the other direction and find that stretch. And then bring it back to the center. All right. So can we do that stretch on a chair? We can sit in the chair and turn our trunk, open up the chest, keeping your hips forward, right? And then we can do the other side. All right, so those are all the stretches coming up to the trunk area. Belly stretch. We can lace our fingers together, bring our arms up, and lean back until we get a stretch in the belly. To stretch the obliques, we can lean to one side and then to the other. Okay, so options for the belly stretch on the floor. Laying flat on your belly, keeping your hips touching the floor, and then we're going to come up and find that stretch in the belly. The more flexible you are, the higher you can go. Trying to keep the shoulders down, hips on the floor. Right. Another stretch that we can do on the floor is child's pose. Sitting back on your legs as far as you can. If that position is not comfortable, we can bring our legs wider. And then just relaxing into that position, finding that stretch in the back, in the glutes. Focus your breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, and then from there, we can do cat-cow. So exhale, and then inhale. We're trying to get that movement in the spine, any tightness in the back or the hips or the belly. So this is both a back and a belly stretch. Also go into the shoulder area and low back, threading the needle, right? Bringing the shoulder down as far as you can and finding that stretch in the low back, a little bit of the shoulder blade area, right? This way. You may not be able to go all the way down, but just find that stretch. Okay, so we've done all of the back, some of the belly. We're going to go to the shoulders and the neck. All right, so a good stretch for the back of the arm and getting the shoulders involved is reaching up nice and tall and then bringing it back like you're trying to pat your back. Bringing this one back and trying to touch your fingertips together. Now some of us are here and we just need to find that stretch, right? We may not all have the flexibility to do this. And then you want to do the other side. This one's not so easy for me. Almost there. Okay, so that stretches that area. Back of the arms, the shoulders are stretching. Make sure your posture is nice and tall when you're doing that. Neck stretches. So sitting nice and tall in the chair, keeping your spine in neutral, that's always important. And then just dropping your ear towards one shoulder, keeping your face in neutral, finding that stretch right along here. And then we're going to do the other side, stretching right along there. Right? So also looking over the shoulder as far as you can, holding that stretch, and then the other side. And then what we want to do is tip our head to one side and slowly roll your head forward. Only forward. And then return. Slowly moving through that, allowing the stretch to happen. All right, if you're feeling a lot of tension in the neck area, you can add in this stretch some weight to it, but don't pull on your head. Just rest your hand on the top of your head to add that little bit of weight on there to add to that stretch. All right, and then rolling the shoulders back and rolling them forward. We want to stretch the chest, so just reaching back and opening up that chest. You might be able to add the neck stretches during this time if you want, or just the stretch by itself. Okay, so we've gone through a full body stretch. Let's do our hands. Pressing gently this way till you get a good stretch down on this part of the hand. And then we're going to press in the other direction. And we're going to do both hands. Right? And for our fingers, just wiggle them around, right? We can do different activities like touching the tips of our fingers, touching the bottoms of each finger with the thumb, touching the bottom of the thumb with each fingertip, right? And then fingertips. And just wiggling your fingers, right? The same stuff that we did with the ball on our feet, we can use a smaller ball to massage our hands also to help some of that tension. And sometimes when our hands are much more relaxed, then the tension in our neck gets a whole lot better. All right, so those are all the stretches in a variety of different ways to do them. Hopefully they help you feel a little more relaxed. And especially do these after you do a little bit of exercise. So a few exercise videos should be coming up too. Have fun and stay healthy.